Today on the channel, we step foot into the world of Haya toys and The Walking Dead with Dead City, Walker King, and Negan.
The spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Welcome everyone, Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel for something entirely different here today. As today, we're talking Walking Dead, specifically Dead City, with two unboxings with the Walker King and, of course, Negan. But of course, for these figures and a whole lot more, better hit up Haya Toys. Haya Toys is who makes these here, and I gotta thank Haya Toys for sending these over to me for review. Very cool of them to do. And we're going to take it out right here and take a look at them and see what's going on. Dare I say, see what all the fuss is about. And of course, going to do this review like we do all the other reviews on the channel. We're going to take a look at the packaging. We're going to talk about it. We're going to unbox it. We're going to talk about it. We're going to see where it goes from there. And we got a big deluxe package right here with this one. And obviously a smaller carded package over here. But we're going to start with Negan is what we're going to do. Probably going to have to take this one offline. We'll see what happens. But you got Jeffrey Dean Morgan right there. Negan himself. I've been sticking with Dead City. I've watched everything Walking Dead. It has been a chore quite a few times. I think we all know how that goes. But I really enjoyed The Walking Dead, enjoyed the comic book Walking Dead as well. I do enjoy Negan. I do like Jeffrey Dean Morgan's acting, and I enjoy him in Dead City. So it is what it is. Not going to be for everyone, but the figure very easily could be for everyone. But a big box here. It almost looks like a big album box set is what it reminds me of. Walking Dead, Dead City. Some glamour shots down here. Caution, choking hazard. 16 and up, you 14, 15-year-olds, get the heck out of here. You can't handle Negan. You got to be 16. Negan on the side. Negan on the side. Glamour shot, some jibber jabber down low. Haya Toys, once again. Haya Toys making a lot of stuff. G.I. Joe, Walking Dead. See you later, goodbye. Godzilla, RoboCop, a lot of stuff from Haya Toys coming. Walking Dead, Dead City, nothing else going on in the box here. So it is just like an album box set. I feel like I'm going to open this up. There's going to be a bunch of CDs in here. Maybe a vinyl box set. Very cool nonetheless. There it is, a little box. Oh my gosh. This is a lot of packaging for not a huge figure. This is a smaller figure as we can see right here. And we got Negan, he's wrapped up. Almost reminds you of like a Mafex or a Mezco or something. Obviously those are imports. This is an import, and I guess depends on where you live, if it's an import or not. But we do get Negan here, but pretty wild. Not a ton of stuff. So a very, very big deluxe packaging going on. You do get some stands as well. So there's a lot of meat on the bone here, but a very big box for a very small figure here. Interesting. I guess we'll take a look at this Walker as well. The Walker King. Looking good. Almost reminds you of the 3 3/4 days, of course, but very cool packaging. Very minimalistic, but very cool at the same time. Unpunched as well. But it is the Walker King. If you remember Series 1 or Season 1 of course, Dead City, you remember the Walker King. On the back, jibber jabber down low, a couple of glamour shots. But I'm going to take all this stuff offline, get it all out of the pack. We'll be back talking Walker King and Negan. All right, let's dive into the world of The Walking Dead via Dead City, of course, with the Haya Toys, King, Walker, and Negan. Got them out of the package. Let's dive into it. Let's start with the more minuscule figure, I guess. Think G.I. Joe style, old school 80s 3 3/4 on these, but a lot more detail, of course. And of course, comes with a little bit of accessory action here. Does come with a nice little Walker base. Nightmare fuel. Looks like muddy, kind of. Almost reminds me of the floor with Jabba the Hutt back in the day from Kenner. If you had Jabba's throne, the little cage underneath, it was always cool to look at the details in the sculpt there. Has a little of that going on with this. Got the foot peg as well. And you got one skull on there looking really nice. Now, one really cool thing here is you buy all these figures, you put them together, all these bases connect. And you do get two connector pieces right here. You put that on there, you connect it to the other one. Very cool, very modular there. You can kind of build out a whole scene if you want to. So I like that a whole lot. But then we get this figure here. Very interesting, but very detailed. And if you saw Dead City Season 1, you saw the King Walker, everybody was like, what the heck is this? If I remember right, it's a couple years ago. I only watched these episodes once. I can't watch them more than once, but they had something like a scientist or somebody like underground in the sewer, I think it was. and he was doing some like human centipede-like experiments. Of course, Todd, your favorite movie of all time, you've told us, is The Human Centipede, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. But very kind of in the line of that, combining some bodies together to make a King Walker, and that's what they did here. So it feels like multiple figures in one in a lot of ways, and I guess we'll start with the head sculpts first. Get a crazy looking guy here. Looks like he just walked out of a nursing home, just not the right way, I guess you would say. Got the hair going on, and you got like a, I don't know if it's a little girl, a little boy. I'm not sure. It almost reminds you of Somewhere in Time Eddie, of course, Iron Maiden classic, a little bit in the face on that one there. Black hair on it, and then you got all the blood and guts sticking out, of course, but all kinds of hands on this one. So the front walker, we'll call him, he's got his hands ready. He's got two splayed out hands. He's ready to go. And then you got a nice arm right in the middle of his gut, like somebody's inside of his body trying to get out. Once again, these walkers are always reaching out. They want to touch someone or eat someone, get some brains. We know how they do it. So we got that. And then we got right at the hips, we got two more arms sticking out right there. And then we get the body in the back. Once again, two more arms back there. And then we do get a set of legs just kind of dangling in the air, like somebody got their head stuck in a window or something, or a fence post is what it reminds me of, but sticking out there with some bare feet. This walker got some black pants going all the way down, torn, tattered, ripped, as you can imagine. Does have some boots on, of course, but definitely a wild look to this one. And it is cool that you can move all these arms around, get them in different kind of stances, different looks as well. All kinds of articulation here. The head has articulation. The midsection does. The lower waist, the legs can do the splits, back, forth, side to side, up and down. Double jointed in the knee department. And then, of course, ankle articulation and a peg down here to stick them on the stand, of course. Then on the back here, same thing. All the arms have the articulation all the way around. Single jointed at the elbow. Hands back and forth, side to side. And then the feet back and forth, side to side on this big old King Walker. Very cool, very nightmare fuel as well. Looks pretty cool. If you're into the 3 3/4 especially, you technically could mix this in with some of your G.I. Joes if you wanted to. Maybe 25th anniversary G.I. Joes. Or, of course, Haya Toys has a G.I. Joe line. I actually have those right here. I should bring those out. They got Zartan and they got Firefly. And I think I'm leaving these on card. But you could mix these into your G.I. Joe universe if you really wanted to. So that's kind of cool. Extra display ability there. The Joe team facing the zombie outbreak. Maybe it's the Eco Warriors with my boy Flint. Who knows? Choose your own adventure. But this King Walker, pretty cool. Nightmare fuel if there ever was one. But the big one here is the Deluxe Negan. This is more of your standard 6-inch scale with this Negan, which is pretty cool. Now, Todd McFarlane did these once upon a time. Left a little bit to be desired, I would say. Obviously, a much cheaper price point. Nowhere near as detailed as these. Now they have been re-released, but I think Haya Toys has taken that to the next level for the Walking Dead fans, as we can see right here. Looking very, very premium. Packaging department, accessory department, and then, of course, looks a lot like a Mafex or a Mezco. Kind of gives you that vibe as well. But let's dive into this one right here. We do get a little base right here. It does say Walking Dead, Dead City right on the front. You do got the arm here. Of course, we see this with other imports, and you got all the articulation in the arm to put on display if you want to. So pretty cool to be able to do some stuff, have him doing some action poses, whatever you want to do. Move your arm around, choose your own arm adventure, of course. And then we do get this box over here, and everybody loves a box, of course. We do get a little box here, and it does have the peg stands in here, so you can do some more of that if you wanted to. I believe, yep, you can move this around. You can put this on any other one. Choose how you want these to be. You can do that, and then it does have a nice box, and then it comes with a little baggie inside. We see this a lot with import figures as well. You can store all your accessories, everything else in one of these nice premium baggies. You got the little storage box right here. I'm here for that. Everything can be stored throughout on this figure, and you could use either top, whichever one you do prefer, will stick right there. Now, you do got the connector pieces like we had with the last one, so you get the little H's right here. They stick on the side so you can connect all these. If you're building out that world, you can connect everything together. So nice to be able to do all that kind of stuff. Very premium feeling with this one here. Not a ton of bells and whistles, not a lot of accessories. I could see some people, of course, that collect, Marvel Legends. I feel like I get more bang out of my buck, and it's only $25. And it's just the difference between import and high-end action figures, of course. But let's dive into the accessories of this one. Let's start with the hand. Hands out of the package, 2 hand-shaking hands, slapping hands. No way I'm keeping those on Negan. He's going to be holding that baseball bat. There's no way around it. Negan also comes with 2 Fists of Fury. Of course, when the bat stops working, you got to dive into the Fists of Fury, of course. And then you got the two traditional gripping hands, even a little bit of blood on this hand here. So really living the gimmick there, of course. And then we get old Lucille, his weapon of choice. I don't know if you guys are watching Dead City once again, but they put some kind of like fuse electrical, like cattle prod, like a young Mountie, of course, in the WWF back in the day. They've added that to his bat. But of course, a bat wrapped in barbed wire. He's ready to go. He's ready to take on Cactus Jack in a street fight if he needs to. Looking good. By my eye, looks to be a Louisville Slugger. So shout out to Louisville Sluggers, of course. He also comes with a pipe because why not? Why not? He has a pipe accessory. You can use that as a weapon if he needs to. And then you got a knife. You always got to have a knife, of course. You never know what you might need it for. It's not just for fighting. It's for day-to-day survival in the zombie walker apocalypse, of course. All in black right there. But now we're going to dive into Negan himself. And I got to say, very high-end feel on this one here. Definitely looks like Jeffrey Dean Morgan, the actor who plays Negan. If somebody handed me this head, I'd say I know who that is. Very stoic look. He's got a very Mark Maron-esque mustache on there. He got the full beard, 2 eyes, 2 ears, a nose, and a mouth, playing all those human hits. Got that Negan hairdo. Who keeps his hair all trim? I would think most people would have long hair in the zombie apocalypse, but he's keeping up appearances, of course. Second head here, we got Negan. I don't know if I like this one better. It's very similar, but this one's got a little teeth showing. Got a little smirk action there. I don't know. Choose your own Negan head adventure, I guess, is what you got to choose between those. But both of them do look very good. Now, getting into the body of this one here, some people love it, some people hate it. Not a lot of people are in the middle, I've noticed in the comments over the years on the channel, but he's got all soft goods throughout on here. Sometimes it makes him feel too baggy, too much like a Barbie doll, I hear, and some people prefer it. It really is choose your own adventure, as we know. But we do got the big black leather jacket over the top. You got a blackish, bluish undershirt here. Velcro on the shirt, but I do like the extra attention to detail with the pins right here, or I should say the snaps. Almost looks like pearl snaps from a beautiful Western shirt. Looking very nice. Got the collar over here. He's welcome into Club Attorney at any time, apparently, with that collar. He's doing the double collar with the leather jacket collar as well. You got the snaps over here on the jacket, looking very good. Not a bad piece of business. A good feel to it. Doesn't feel like very cheap. It actually feels almost like real leather. Almost. I'm sure it's not, but it feels almost that way. We even got soft goods down to the pants here in brown. You got more of the snaps down here. It is Velcro once again. Down to some brown boots. Looking very good, but he is decked out in soft good clothes throughout on this one. That is pretty darn cool if you ask me. He does got the little thigh belt right here. Got a little sheath there for his knife, so you can store the knife on him as well. Hands are removable. How hard are they to remove? Let's see. Let's see how hard it is to remove one of these hands. Harder than I want it to be. Oh my gosh, what are we doing? Am I going to have to heat it up, apparently? Apparently, I must have to heat these hands up. I thought they would just plug on out. Or maybe they're so small I just can't get it out. I don't know. Oh, yeah, not coming out for me. I don't know what's going on there. Might have to just heat it up a little bit. Sometimes you got to do that kind of stuff, especially with your import figures. That's not moving on me. Head moving out really easily. Plug and play like we're used to, of course. Good skin tone on here. A very realistic, lifelike skin tone on this one, I will say as well, throughout all the way down to the hands. But maybe this hand's easier to get out. I don't know. Might just have to heat them up. Yeah, it looks like I'm going to have to heat these hands up. Who'da thunk it? Who'da thunk it? But have to heat those hands up, get those going right there. Now, articulation is very articulated. That makes sense. It's articulation after all. Head removable, back force, side to side. You got a hula hoop up top plus a traditional waist. Now, theoretically, you could take all these clothes off. Personally, I don't want a naked Jeffrey Dean Morgan Negan figure in my collection, and I always worry, will I ever get those clothes back on correctly? It rarely ever happens, so I don't think I'm going to take all these clothes off here. But you do get the big old splits on the leg. Do get a thigh cut in there. It's like, I feel like a blind guy. I feel like Stevie Wonder is what I feel like. And I've heard Stevie Wonder isn't really blind. That's what Shaquille O'Neal told me. Look that story up, of course. Double jointed knees, of course, got to have that. No boot cut, no boot cut. Ankles back force side to side, up and down. Very smooth on the ankles. I do like that a whole lot. Bicep cut, double jointed elbows, and then hands hopefully removable, as we did say right there. No foot hole in the bottom, so he's not going to fit on a stand of any kind. You're going to have to just put him with this thing, I guess is how it's going to go. But not a bad looking piece of business, old Negan here. You can see for comparison shot, can't really build these two together in your universe, unfortunately, here. But I do like Negan, and I feel like I might use this with my G.I. Joe Classified figures. I don't know. Either that or Marvel Legends. I'm just going to sneak him in as a little Easter egg somewhere in the display. And speaking of G.I. Joe Classified, how about the true leader of G.I. Joe right here? Tiger Force's own edition of Flint. Really about the same size right there is what that looks like. So maybe in a different world, Negan could join, of course, up with the Tiger Force. I don't know if Flint would vet him out or not, but you got to get the scale right there so you kind of know what we're dealing with here. But obviously, an import figure, a little bit more expensive than the Classifieds, for example, but pretty cool. And for somebody like me, I do enjoy The Walking Dead. Obviously, I like the earlier stuff better than some of the later stuff, like most people. But I do like Negan. He is probably my favorite character ever from The Walking Dead. So I am happy to have this one in my collection for sure. This one over here, depends what you're going for. If you do this kind of Walking Dead universe in this scale, it's great for you. Or you want to mix it with your G.I. Joes, that could be a possibility as well. But I do like this Negan for what it is. My first ever Haya Toys figures here. Going to be interested to see some of the stuff we get in the future from Haya Toys. As I said earlier, they got a lot of different properties going on. Going to be interesting how deep they go into some of these different lines. Really looking forward to some more of the G.I. Joe stuff as well. So we'll stay tuned for that. But what do you think? What say you on Haya Toys? What say you on The Walking Dead? Are you still watching? Are you still hanging tight? Are you hanging tough like New Kids on the Block? Maybe you're doing that. But let me know your thoughts on The Walking Dead and even Dead City if you're dabbling in that as well. And let me know your thoughts on Negan and the King Walker in the comments down below. Of course, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, turn on the old notification bells. We got videos every single day and then some. We got even more content for you. Yes, it's true. YouTube channel memberships and Patreon, the best way to support the channel. Sir Paul64 on the X, _Kyle_Peterson on Threads, Instagram, TikTok, TheKylePetersonShow at gmail.com, my new podcast. Each and every single Tuesday, my wife and I break it all down on The Kyle Peterson Show. Check it out if you have not already. So for Negan and a King Walker from Haya Toys, I'm Kyle. See you guys all real soon.
Are we gonna dance or are we gonna play?